Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Glossy Philosophy. My name is Jansen Bidman and you are tuned in for a special what should I wear for wedding week events fashion. So a wedding week is one of those very special things where you are there to support the bride and groom, but there's also a lot of options, which means a lot of planning of outfits that has to go into it. And if you are traveling, that's something else that you need to take into consideration with your packing and weight of luggage and all of that good stuff. So I thought I would take 3 events that I am personally going to be attending very soon for a family member and just kind of break down what is appropriate and just kind of give some inspiration and maybe some things to think about when you're choosing your outfits and putting all your accessories together. So let's get started with option 1. Okay, our first option, which I'm actually calling either the day after brunch, so the day after the wedding when everybody gets together, has brunch, and the bride and groom open gifts, or like an extra special afternoon or evening event that the bride and groom are hosting for people who are going to be in the wedding or are family members, just kind of a casual get together. So let's just kind of talk about this dress really quickly. From far away, this dress, the print looks almost like an abstract watercolor, but up close it is actually a floral pattern, but it's done in lots of different colors, which brings interest to the dress. So it's interesting from far away, it's interesting up close, but it's not so interesting that you look crazy or like to people who you don't know, which always happens at the wedding. They will want to approach you, they won't want to be like, eggs. The other nice thing about this is that it has a fitted bodice. It has some ruching right here. It also has a little sleeve, so it's very ladylike. You can wear this with or without a jacket. In the video, I'm wearing this exact jacket. It's a really nice thick jersey. So whenever you wear a jacket, I always think it's good, especially in the summer, that the outfit looks good with and without the jacket, because you just don't know what the AC situation is going to be. You also might not know if you're going to be inside or outside for the entire event, so you want to make sure that you look good with and without your jacket or your coat that you might be wearing, or a scarf. This dress is almost a maxi, which I think is really great because it works for lots and lots of different events that are going on. You can look really pretty sitting in a chair for brunch, but you'll also look really nice standing up for that extra event that may or may not happen. I paired this with a really simple triple necklace from Kendra Scott, and I think that it complements, it doesn't take away. The star of the show is definitely the dress, but again, nothing is screaming like I'm the star of the show, which is definitely something we need to talk about, because when you are invited to a wedding, and especially if you are going to be in the wedding or a family member, you are going to be having your picture taken quite a bit. But it is very important that you do the dress code the way that the bride and groom want to do the dress code. So if they are going a little bit more casual, it's totally okay to dress up a little bit more, but it's not okay to like wear a tiara. You also want to make sure that you're not wearing something completely white or mostly white unless you get the express okay from the bride, because it is her day, and no matter how good you look in white, you really need to make sure that she is the one who is shining and you are kind of taking back seat. It doesn't mean that you can't look beautiful and amazing as well, but maybe it's not the time for your loudest, most look at me outfit either. That's not really supporting the bride. Everything should be supporting the new couple coming. So just keep that in mind. In the video, I paired this with a really simple basic beige pump or a nude pump, and again, the shoes are going to be kind of whatever the event is. If you're going to be helping the bride kind of set up a room or something, then you probably don't want to do heels. If you are going to an extra lunch or a brunch, then the heels are going to be really great. So that is what I'm going to be wearing for one of those events. The next outfit that we are going to talk about is what to wear to a rehearsal dinner. Now, as always, you want to make sure that you are following dress code based on what the bride and groom are telling you. However, if they are being a little lax in what should I wear department, then take into consideration the venue that they have chosen. If the venue is super dressy, go super dressy. If it's more casual, go a little bit more casual. However, again, it is always okay to be a little bit more dressy than casual. You'll just feel a lot better rather than being more casual and everyone else is a little bit dressy, but just don't go over the top. So use your best judgment. I have chosen for the rehearsal dinner to wear a navy instead of a black because I think navy's a little bit softer, a little bit more approachable. And it's a sheath dress, but it has a lot of draping built in. It also has this like really fun surprise on the side, which you can see in the video. So there's nothing like super exciting about this dress until you put it on, and then it just drapes really nicely on your figure. I'm pairing it with, now you could definitely pair it with a really cool necklace if you wanted, but I want the draping of this dress to be kind of the star of the show. So I am just wearing some simple kind of, they're like a snake imprint teardrop earring from Nickel & Suede. And if you haven't read my blog post yet about Nickel & Suede, they are amazing. If you have any trouble with earrings tugging on your ears and it causing headaches, or you have any problems with just like heavier earrings, Nickel & Suede is the place to go. So I will definitely link that website down below. But I'm going to be wearing these earrings, and then just for a little bit of whimsy, I'm going to use a very old Ted Baker London clutch that I have. And Ted Baker London, if you are looking for something really whimsical and you're not finding it at Kate Spade, then Ted Baker London is a great place to go, especially if you're like me and you love English fashion, because he obviously has an English twist to everything. So that is a great option for a rehearsal dinner. The last dress that I want to talk to you about is what to wear to that wedding. Now, a wedding is an interesting event. It usually starts late afternoon and goes all the way to the evening and sometimes even early morning. So what are you supposed to wear to something like that? Again, you want to look at the invitation. How dressy is the invitation itself, and think about what the bride and groom are kind of advertising on their website or telling you, communicating with you. Also, think about the venue. So for this particular wedding that I'm attending, it was requested that people go a little bit more casual because it could be really hot. It's outside in kind of an outdoor arboretum, and also not to wear heels for the women or men, because we will be walking on gravel and grass and heels could get stuck. So all of those things are really important to adhere to, but that doesn't mean that you have to show up in jeans or, you know, like even option one I think would be a little too informal for something like this. So let me talk about why I chose what I chose. And whenever I hear something like wedding or a really special event, I'm thinking like companies like Eliza J. I'm thinking Adrianna Papel. Those are kind of my two go-to brands that I always check out first and see what they have going on. Something else I always think about is a long time, maybe like 8-10 years ago, there was a documentary called Valentino the Last Emperor, and it follows Valentino through the creation of one of his lines, and it also follows him through almost like an art show celebration of Valentino, the House of Valentino, and the designer Valentino. And there's a scene where he is talking to basically everybody in the room and saying that when a woman dresses for evening, it is imperative that she covers her ankles. And if she doesn't, then it's garish. And I was really surprised when I heard that in the documentary, but the more I thought about it, the more it kind of made sense to me. It goes, you know, back historically, like women would always cover their ankles, and showing an ankle was like a huge, like, oh my goodness, like this is getting very personal over here kind of thing. And I think that's kind of where he's coming from. I think to show legs in the evening is, you know, we're starting to get into kind of like cocktail zone, right? So a wedding is a step above a cocktail event. But because it was requested that we go a little bit more casual, I decided to go with definitely a floor-length gown by Lysse J. You can see that there's just a little bit of detailing, which makes it interesting, but I think besides the fit of this dress, which is like amazing and, you know, right on par with Lysse J, the other cool thing about this is that it's almost like a robin's egg blue, and it has like flowers that have been blown up basically all throughout the design of this dress. So I'm not actually in the wedding party, but I'm a part of the wedding family. So I didn't want to wear the same color as everybody that's in the actual like wedding party, but I wanted to kind of go with them. So Robin's Egg Blue is such a great color. It's not green, so I'm not going to look like I'm blending into the grass in the photographs. It has a little bit of that blue, so it's going to look really nice against navy and grays, and there's also maybe talk about some reds happening, I'm not sure. So that's going to pull in the pinks. And this dress is really cool because you could go with silver jewelry, which would look really pretty, or you could go gold. So I decided to go gold because it just pops a little bit more, as you can see in the video. But it is a really basic necklace because the dress is definitely the star of the show. You can't really see my shoes unless I lift up my dress, so I did go for a very casual sandal as requested, so I'm not worried through dancing. I'm not worried about walking on gravel or anything like that. And I also know that this company washes really well, so I'm not concerned about it getting dirty and not being able to wear it again. I've already worn it to another event with different accessories, and that was really nice, and I kind of downplayed the wedding vibes a little bit, but this is just a great option, and Lysse J and Adrianna Papel do great floor-length maxi gowns for something a little bit more casual to like really fancy. If you are going to something that is super, super fancy, or you just feel like being really fancy, McDougal, I mean, I just don't think you can beat them. If you have that kind of budget, go for it. Amazing, beautiful dresses. So those are kind of the brands that I would recommend for wedding guest, wedding attire, even bridesmaids, because brides are now getting a little bit more informal with like what you need to wear. And that is what I'm going to be wearing. So it's kind of whimsical, and it plays with the rest of the wedding party. I'm also going to be pairing it with this like ginormous clutch, but it's actually a handbag. I just tuck in the handle. This is from Kate Spade a very, very long time ago. Again, her products are amazing. They really do last a long time. And so I'm adding a little bit of casualness. So think about the size of your accessories too when it says like be a little bit more casual. This could be a very fancy dress, but I'm kind of downplaying it with the pattern and the fact that I'm wearing it with really casual shoes and a really big bag. The bigger your bag, the more casual you are. The smaller your bag, the more formal you are. And that is what I'm wearing to the wedding. I hope this video was helpful on what to wear during wedding week, especially with COVID just kind of getting over and people kind of going back to the way that they are or were before COVID. We might feel like we need to impress, and it has to be almost like a fashion show, and oh my goodness, what am I going to wear? I haven't seen these people in years and years. But remember that you are there to celebrate the couple, and yes, you want to look good, but you don't want to go so overboard that you're not enjoying yourself or you are kind of stealing the show from the bride and groom. So keep a couple of those things in mind, and also remember that everyone there loves you and is supporting you, so you're gonna be just fine. Again, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it kind of gave you some inspiration or things to think about for wedding week. I do fashion videos every Wednesday and I do beauty videos every Friday. This Friday we're sticking with weddings and I'm doing a blog post and also a video on a classic bridal look, which you can also wear as a wedding guest because it's very photography appropriate. If you found this video helpful, I hope you give it a thumbs up and you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you very soon. Bye!